just decided to pop in for a moment and bring up the topic of connecting with our higher guidance, whether we're calling this source energy or spirit guides, angels, the divine, or simply the higher self, the I am. The reason I wanted to talk about this right now is I've noticed that many who discuss this seem to be, well, from my perspective anyway, making this too difficult. I mean, who is it that we're contacting anyway? Is this a force outside of us? A God being out there, up there, somewhere? And we're hoping it will find favor with us and communicate? This is our first obstacle to overcome. The higher realm we're hoping to contact is here within us. It is consciousness. And consciousness is fundamental to our existence. So rather than being out there or up there, we might want to look in here. It's no secret that religion has done a real number on us, and most of us have grown up believing that we are these weak little bodies, and this deity or supreme being is outside of us, somewhere up in the clouds, attainable by only a special few people, those who faithfully meditate or pray to this outside force, which may or may not eventually bring us a response. So, who or what is it that we want to meet? Is this an external being that we mentioned? Is it God? And is this different than an angel or a spirit guide? And could our spirit guide be extraterrestrial or extra dimensional? So before we even hope to connect, we must be able to accept that there is such a thing. We also will need to trust that we can connect. Yet, with all of that, the most important thing is to believe and know that we are powerful spirits who can do anything we put our mind to. If we come forward from this position of weakness or inferiority, we will only connect with that frequency. And believe me, there are plenty of astral beings who are ready to take on that role as a false being of light. It's time to stop relying on an outside force to come to our rescue. I think it's critical that we come to understand who we are, that there is another part of us, a high vibrational us, that is always here to assist, but can only come forward if we have the intention to contact this part of self. It's not going to happen if we're going around saying or thinking, well, I've tried to contact a guide or an angel and they never showed up, so there must not be any. Or maybe they don't like me, or I'm not worthy of having one. I don't deserve it. What will get us there is our emotions. If we have doubt, we will push it away. When we trust, we're closer. We have to believe it into being. And, we actually do this all the time. If we love, what we feel is that connection. If playing with a puppy makes us giggle with joy, we're fully there. Or touched by the warmth of another, that warmth is our connection. When we're moved with the emotion of a beautiful scene of nature, nature is source energy in form. Sometimes it's our expectations that bring us the doubt. I mean, if we are, for example, expecting a verbal dialogue or conversation the first time, that's probably expecting too much. We will always receive what we're ready for. And if we're not ready emotionally for that experience, it probably won't happen. But it's not that our guides aren't there. It's that we're in our own way. Maybe we're too skeptical to allow in the possibility. And skepticism is fine. In fact, it can be helpful in navigating life. But if it bars us from being able to accept the exceptional, the remarkable, then it's a misuse of our natural capacity for that potential relationship, that open exchange with Source. The other part of this is if we are constantly focused on receiving this connection, this dialogue that doesn't come about, we are more in the vibration of the lack of the connection than the reception of it. We can easily, as I said, we can as easily push it away as allowing it to materialize. One of the best ways to encounter a relationship with our guides is to stop resisting it. If we feel it's too difficult to connect, it will be. Everything wonderful that comes into our lives is by following our path without too much resistance, examination, or uncertainty. Remember, the higher self and guides already know what we want and are constantly sending us advice and counsel. And this may come to us as an urge to do something, maybe something that we usually don't do. If we don't try to analyze this impulse or figure out why this has come to us, and we just follow it through, and something wonderful happens, even if it's just a smile from a passerby, this can be the beginning of the trust that will eventually lead us to exactly what we're hoping for, a deep communication with higher guidance. And as I hinted before, you must be willing to have the confidence that you are worthy of this communication. And more than that, you must be able to recognize that you are deserving of not only a dialogue with the infinite, but that you are the infinite, a piece of God. Believing and knowing that you are greatly loved, simply acknowledging this fact to yourself, the divine realm will begin to prove it to you. And arrange circumstances of abundance and joy to reflect that truth. Listen to your own internal dialogue. And when you ask your questions, I assure you, the answers will be there. You know, I would love to know how you guys feel about this topic and what your own experiences might have been. So feel free to leave a comment. This is how we can all learn from each other. Thanks, everyone. Bye.